Thank you for watching our video. This is a video on how to set up a pre-configured Nitro router. Your package should come with the following contents: a piece of paper with a link to HRA enrollment guides, a serial to console cable that is blue in color, two Cat5 Ethernet cables normally yellow in color, a Nitro also known as 891 FW router, a rack mount bracket for the power supply, a power brick, and a 3-prong power cable. All other contents of the box do not apply to internal Cisco HRA CVO VPN use and can be ignored. Your department also may have provided a Lenovo or an Apple laptop. You may have been given or ordered an IP phone with your Nitro router. Notice the ports on the back of the Nitro router. In order, you will see a reset button, on switch, and power connection. Notice the power connection will fit in only one direction. Next are the Cisco corporate gigabit Ethernet ports with power over Ethernet labeled PoE 0 through 3, the non-powered Cisco corporate ports labeled 4 and 5, and the gigabit ports labeled 6 and 7 for personal use. Finally, the GE WAN port, which connects your internet connection. The V92 SFP ISDNT and FE WAN ports are not used. Connect one provided Cat5e Ethernet cable to the port labeled 0 above the PoE label. Connect the other end of the Cat5e to the IP phone network port. Note that your phone has several network connections on its back. Be sure to use the one labeled network. Optionally, connect the other provided Cat5e cable to the gigabit Ethernet port labeled 1 above the PoE section. If you are provided a Lenovo laptop, locate the Ethernet port on it or its docking station and connect the other end of the Ethernet cable you connected to port 1 on the Nitro router. Alternatively, if you have an Apple laptop, use the Thunderbolt Ethernet adapter to connect the Nitro router. Use a Cat5 Ethernet cable to a free Ethernet port on an upstream device such as your personal home router or modem to connect to the GE WAN 8 port. Once this is done, connect the power supply to the Nitro router and turn on the Nitro router using a power switch on the rear. Be sure that your connections are secure by gently pushing the Ethernet cable ends in the ports which they are connected. When installing the wiring, be sure to be careful not to wiggle the wires into place, especially for the power connector, as it can break the connection on the inside of the Nitro router. The OK light and PoE OK light should flash, then become solid. Wait approximately 15 minutes for the VPN light to come on. Notice the gigabit Ethernet connections under the section with PoE blink green as they pass traffic. It may take up to an hour for the wireless access point to come online. You will be able to see these lights flash under the 2.4 and 5 GHz once the wireless AP is on. Now that your CVO is on, if you have a phone, it should register and may take 5 or more minutes. The phone can be connected to any of the PoE ports labeled 0 through 3. In the video, the instructions are for port 0 to simplify troubleshooting. While it is possible to use some phones over the corporate wireless connection, that is not within the scope of this video. Please refer to self-support documentation on the HRA website for instructions of this type of setup. Note, wireless phone connectivity behind a CVO is not supported by the HRA team or the GVSE. These are example setups of the Lenovo PC, IP phone, and Nitro router, as well as the Apple computer and phone and Nitro router. For a wired connection, the laptop can be connected to any of the Cisco secured ports on the back of the Nitro router. These are labeled 0 through 5. Thank you for watching our video.